You're watching BCTV. We're all about Brantford. You're watching BCTV, Brantford Government Television, a service of Brantford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Brantford.
Okay, I'd like to call the Police Commission meeting to order, May 1st, 5:40. And first, report of the chief.
All right. First, I want to congratulate Chief Halloran on his move over to the North Brantford Police Department. He was sworn in on Monday night, and he's assumed his duties there, so we wish him well. The men and women certainly miss him, but moving forward, we'll have a very good, close working relationship with him as he is right next door to us. As far as the CompStat report, with all the changes and the chief's departure, we weren't able to fit in the CompStat meeting, so you don't have a CompStat report for this month's meeting, but I will take a quick second and give you a quick highlight on March through April. Basically, we saw a little increase in arrests overall. There was 12 more from March to April. The only, in Part 1 crimes, there was nothing significant or anything out of the norm. There was some increase in larcenies, which for the public at home, as the weather starts getting nicer, please lock your doors, lock your cars, do not leave valuables in view. Last night we had another attempted theft of a group in a stolen car. They did flee. So as we see the warmer weather, we will see more opportunities for those type of crimes, so keep that in mind. On the commercial side of, we had 2 commercial burglaries, one business on West Main Street. They smashed the front glass door, took a small cash box with some money in it. A local restaurant was also victim of a burglary. They kicked in the rear door. Detectives have picked both of these up, and on the restaurant case, we are pursuing a few leads on that. A nice job by the officers, a stolen vehicle on East Main Street back on the 4th of April. They made 2 apprehensions. 2 people were in possession of some drug paraphernalia and some narcotics. Fraud case, attempted fraud at the bank, Capital One Bank. The subject fled. We're trying to ID him as we speak. And other than that, quality of life crimes, nothing significant to report, no significant deviations in the months past. From March to April, we did see a 30% decrease in accidents. So our accidents are down. We had 45 in March, and April we logged in 28. So the accidents are down in that period. Other than that, I don't have anything else in the CompStat. The forfeiture report. Forfeiture report, nothing, no significant expenditures. That stayed stable. Just to refresh your memory, we did make some repairs to the indoor range. Those were completed. During that process, there was a few other items that needed to be attended to, and that I believe was like a $1,700 additional that wasn't in the original scope. So you'll see that withdrawal in there. So asset forfeiture pretty much was stable. You'll see in the budget requests, these are just some transfers. To give you a quick overview on office supplies, we're looking to take roughly $3,100 out of office supplies to technology. What this is for is 3 new computers, 3 new setups, computers, monitors for our officer roll call area, report writing stations. The existing computers are aged, they're a little slower, there's some lag, and they're not performing as well with some of our programs. IT does assist us with these. But again, there's competing demands, and we're trying to keep up with replacing some of these, and this ties into, we are updating that office area for the officers. We're in process of doing that, trying to get some desks and some new computers, so it's all tied in. So I thought it would be prudent to try to get those so we can complete the project. No good having desks without the computers and such. Regular salaries, we're looking to increase the overtime, and this calculation of $50,000, what this includes is all our vacancies, a projection as we move into the busier months, and also a little buffer in the event of a critical incident or a significant investigation that would draw our investigative personnel and/or out of the norm. So that's a $50,000 transfer to get us through, and we are short. We're short, as you all know.
So 6 down?
We are 4, and I have. We can discuss a few more things in executive session, but I do feel that what I don't want to do, and I've spoken to staff about this, is pull away some of our core duties because we're short. So as we approach the nicer weather with the boat patrol and the things that we do to provide the services or the community outreach, I don't necessarily want to draw those back and shutter those based on shortages. So in that number, that should get us through. And like I said, there is a little buffer in there in the event that, and hopefully we won't have to exercise this insurance policy, but there's a little in there. If it's not needed, it will not be spent. As you know, through the budget process, we were cut cars, and it was requested if we possibly could transfer money out of fuel. Our fuel projection looks like we're going to have some money there. Again, as long as the fuel pricing, and I don't know if we're locked in, but we should be good. So it's a $35,000 transfer to cover the purchase of a vehicle to help make up for a few that were cut.
All right, and the build out is 22?
Yes, so thank you. The last line is the build out. That's, obviously we get a car, it's just a normal car, there's nothing in it, and we need a build out, and that's $22,000. So that is being requested out of regular salary, because we do feel we have the extra funds there due to the shortage. So we're going to try to offset that.
Now, the normal build out is a little under that, isn't it? Isn't it usually more like 16 or 17?
Well, in that number, I'd have to go back and check with the captain, but so we have the computer, the MDT, I don't know if he's building it in, the radar, the camera system, the emergency lighting, the prisoner containment system. So.
And the box in the back.
Yes. So when I look at that number, Captain Dunbar does our fleet and puts that together. I can tell you off the top of my head that that's about.
Okay.
And I think he may have to dip somewhere else to cover a few other things. So that's where we stand with transfers.
We're going to need to make a motion to approve these transfers, right?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make that motion too.
Second.
Does that have to be an agenda item?
It's on,
It
it's
is.
right here.
It is
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
All right, all in favor?
Excuse me.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Everyone? No?
Just so I got it, who's the second?
I second it.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
It just didn't appear in motion. I see it now.
Okay. Injury report?
We put light duty on the agenda, thankfully, before the officers return full duty as of yesterday afternoon. So we
Good.
don't have everybody on light duty.
Letters?
We have a letter from Jeffrey Branfon from Branfon Honda, wanting to thank the department for efforts in making arrests and recovering tires and rims that are stolen from several of the cars at the dealership. More importantly, he wants to thank Officer Jay Kaufman for his quick thinking and making the apprehension possible and prevented a substantial loss to their building. So they wanted to thank us for that.
And that'll, copy of this will go in his file.
Absolutely. And we also got a nice letter and a picture from the Brantford hockey team for winning the state championship. They were coming back to town with great fanfare, and we assisted them in giving them a police escort, which they truly enjoyed, and we're very proud of them and glad to be part of their celebration. So good luck to job well done to the hockey team. And that's all I have.
Pretty good, Chief.
Okay, do you want to do traffic before we do executive session?
Well, what I'd like to do is add an agenda item, approval of the April minutes.
Yeah, I know, that was missing.
All right,
I'll
I
make that
second
an agenda.
Yeah.
I second
Okay.
that motion too. So let's
Let's do
vote
that.
to do that.
I think that it might be omitted because we moved the meeting, now becomes a special meeting. And I don't know if under the special meeting you're allowed to approve the minutes of the, so that's
Well,
possibly why it's
I
missing.
think all of our meetings are called special
They are,
meetings.
they are.
You know, this is the April minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I mean, I hear what you're saying.
By concert, we approve the minutes.
Sounds good.
By concert, okay, not by motion.
Fine. So the minutes are approved, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying,
Okay.
That's fine with me.
by concert.
Now I'll do my traffic report if you'd like.
Oh, yes, sir.
Minutes are approved. Trista will be happy. First item, request for signage on Island View down in the Pine Orchard section of Brantford. Island View is a one-way street. What is happening is because of lack of signage, primarily one-way, do not enter, cars are turning off of the side streets up, going against the one-way, and there's a blind corner where Lake Avenue comes into Island View, and it's just a question of time before there's a head-on. So the recommendation is appropriate signage to make it clear to the workers and guests who are not familiar with the fact that road is a one-way, to get some signage there that says that.
Before summer
Right,
comes.
so you'll,
I'll work with
you
Public
work with
Works,
Public Works for that.
but I need a motion and an approval.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve
I second.
that. All in favor?
All in favor?
Rich, does this require a motion, or as
Yeah.
chairman of the committee, can he unilaterally?
No.
No.
We
We've
always
always
have to
had
do a
motion.
We
Yeah.
do with motion.
Okay.
And the chairman never makes the motion, so.
Yeah.
Second request was for a Slow Children at Play, corner of Wildwood Drive, Rocky Ledge. We looked at it, and Children at Play signs are not recommended by the state and federal government. It sends a false message that if there's no sign, it's okay to play in the streets, and we don't want children playing in the streets, so
No.
no action on this. Request for a keep left sign at the corner where Cherry Hill Road intersects Main Street. There's a dog grooming shop on the corner there. And what's happening is that if a couple of cars want to head toward the center of town, take a left, they jam up that intersection because it's a busy, Main Street is busy. And cars are cutting through that want to head toward New Haven, the dog grooming's parking lot, which that's private property. I ran this by the town engineer. What the town engineer suggested was maybe we paint a fog line. That's the solid white line along the edge of the road. That's really, with private property, that's really all we can do. If the owner of the property decides to put up a sign that says for customers only or something like that, that would be her business. So no action, other than I would take a motion.
The line, yeah.
Paint the line.
Paint the line.
Paint the
okay.
line.
I'd like to make a motion that we agree to paint a line there on the corner.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye. Fourth request, we had a nice group in here this evening when we had our committee meeting regarding Harbor Street, alleged speeding, traffic calming, etc.
I thought no one was ever caught.
Parking.
Parking. I ran this also by the town engineer. we did take a look at it, the chief, Val, and in essence, it's an ongoing issue. We're going to do a traffic study, get some volumes, get some speeds. I learned something tonight, and that was that Lanfear's Cove, a lot of people that don't have a pass to park at Parker Memorial park on Lanfear, and they cross the street to get to the sidewalk, which is on the opposite side of the street. And so I think that we're going to take a look at putting a crosswalk there. I'm going to talk to the town engineer about that, see what he has to say. And also possibly, we have a hump down on the lower part of Harbor Street at the park area, beyond the stop sign. And, you know, bring that back up onto the table and see. So, but this is an ongoing item. The only thing I think that the town engineer suggested at this time is maybe another 25-mile-an-hour sign, but I think we ought to just keep this whole thing going, do nothing right now but the traffic study, which is just normal course of business. So no action at this time. I'll keep this item open.
Can I just ask you guys, what is how difficult would it be just to, throw an officer down there with a radar unit? You get a few stops, people will see the lights going on and off, and it might have an effect. We do that, once a month or something like that through our normal traffic, situation. Is that something you're in?
Definitely possible, and it will be done. And
Okay.
Harbor Street's definitely an area where we routinely run radar.
Right.
Like a lot of different areas, people want more, and
Of course.
we'll give it more attention.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would tell you that the chief had a 5-year analysis done with our crime analysis, and it was quite specific, number of violations, radar, incidents. There's a chart actually that shows how many times we were out there doing radar, how many stops we made, how many tickets were issued, and things like that. And I think the group that was there, because I had some foresight, they were coming as a group. I talked to the chief, he came up with this idea. We printed some copies, they walked away with it. We're going to give them some more facts, and I'm sure we'll make the most intelligent recommendations
Sure we will.
when we have all that. So
All right.
that's the end of my report.
Okay.
There's one other thing, a letter to the.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you, Rick. Yes, our state representative, Robin Comey, gave quite a detailed letter regarding Cedar Street north of Main Street. That's the road that goes up to exit 54 on I-95. We took a look at that also. About the only things that we can do there is recommend to the state, because it is a state road, that they do an analysis. We did suggest, or will suggest, the chief's going to be the one to contact, or the designate, that take a look at the timing on the light, especially northbound, because the traffic is backing up down the hill. And also take a look, there's a condominium complex that if you're trying to go left north as you come out of that complex, that's quite problematic. You've got cars that are coming off of I-95 that are northbound, taking a right, and some of them do, there's a right turn on after stop. Some of them roll through it, and then you're all of a sudden at the driveway. But we're going to just ask the state to take and do an analysis, pay particular attention to some of those things.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah.
Second.
Sure.
All in favor?
Hi.
Okay, I think now, do we want to go into executive session?
Yes, and if I could request that, for the purposes of interviewing the candidate, if myself and the captain can remain,
Yes.
the captain oversaw the entire process leading up to this point, and I think it's beneficial for the time that we need to be in executive session. If you have questions pertaining to that, he would be the source. So if that's okay with you, if you want to vote on that.
Absolutely. I don't think we need a vote.
No,
You're welcome
right.
to attend.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the chief's prerogative.
It's only Henry that
Henry has.
Sorry, Henry. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to accept Brenda Vera as a new patrol officer here in Branford.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 The second thing I want to talk about is the deputy chief's position. I'd like to make a motion that we let the chief post that internally with the appropriate qualifications.
Right.
Second.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Okay, that concludes our business. It is 10, well, between 10 of and 5 of.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh. Most
We
important.
have to do the minutes from before. and then- Do we have to?
My
do we
mind
have
is
to-
full.
He did it.
Okay,
Did-
okay.
yeah.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Brantford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BrantfordTV.org.